Hey everyone, it's Leanie. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going back in the catalog of death battles and we are going to be watching Simon the Digger versus Kyle Rayner. Once again, I do not know anything about these characters, so we're gonna listen and we're gonna make an educated guess and then we'll see if we are right. So make sure to go show Death Battle some love and let's get right into it. Okay.
Simon the Digger.
Kyle Rayner,
Simone,
the White
I said
Lantern.
Simon.
Two men born of Earth with the willpower to pierce
that
the
shows
heavens
you how
and
much I know.
conquer infinity.
He's Wiz
Simone.
and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to
Yes.
find out who would win.
Please
a
tell me
death
all the
battle.
information.
Deep underground, Jiha Village lived in dreary isolation, oblivious to the
Jiha
wider world
Village.
above their squalid cave.
That's where the hero of our story comes in.
The hero?
young man who would lead his comrades into the
Ooh,
sunlight
look at
at
her.
last. Kamina, the great and mighty. Oh, and his little brother from another mother, Simone. He was there too, I guess.
Simon was a digger, content to drill endlessly
He
through
was
the
a
dirt.
digger.
Until the day he found
Drilling
the
through
core
the
drill.
dirt.
A key that
Oh.
activated the mysterious buried mech that Kamina named Lagann.
He came
Under his
across it
magnificently
while he was
masculine
digging?
leadership, Kamina finally drilled their way to freedom, seeing the sun after a life in the dark.
But the sky was by no
wow.
means the
Okay,
limit.
that's
the surface
life-changing.
was ruled by the cruel chimeric beastmen, and Kamina would lead his compatriots against them to reclaim the Earth for humanity,
Okay.
scoring a second mech in the process, aptly named Gurren.
And as befits Kamina
Gurren?
and Simone's unbreakable brotherly bond, Gurren and Lagann merged, creating
Gurren
Gurren
and
Lagann.
Lagann.
With Kamina piloting the body and Simone the head, these two were unstoppable.
Of all
okay.
the giant fighting
They're a team.
robots in all the animes across history, Gurren Lagann might just be the absolute coolest, fueled by its pilot's
So
willpower
cool.
and
Gurren
capable of
Lagann.
making any weapon they can imagine.
Including
Runs
missiles, a
on
jetpack,
willpower.
a sunglasses boomerang, and of course,
Drills! Wrist-mounted
Drills,
drills,
lots of
kunai
drills,
drills, shield
missiles,
drills,
energy blasts.
Kamehameha drills, and everyone's favorite, the Giga Drill Bureku!
Giga
Side note,
drill?
it is so funny that the only thing they could think of was drills. That's like if I made booze or something, my whole
Flintstones.
personality. What up?
with Gurren Lagann's awesome power, Kamina laid waste to enemy forces, liberated human villages, and fomented
Wow.
a rebellion against
They really
the
were
Beastman
heroes.
King, Lord Genome.
Until Kamina died.
Oh.
Wait, shit, was that supposed to happen?
Nope,
What?
and it was all Simone's fault. He let his willpower waver, and his soul brother paid the price.
No.
After all, he was just a
What does
humble
he do
digger,
now?
at home in the darkness, guided solely by the light of Kamina's spirit.
So
What does
his
he do
big
now
bro
with his
left him
brother's
with these
gone?
final words. Have faith in the Simone who believes in you. Damn.
Kamina was the
Dang,
one looking up to
have
him the
faith in the
whole
Simone
time.
that
It was
believes in
Simone
you.
who found Lagann, Simone who pierced the surface, and Simone who would now lead humanity to victory.
Especially with
All on
his
his
gal pal
own?
Nia at his side, who helped pull him out of his rut and kick
Okay,
Lord
he has a
Genome's
gal pal
ass.
now.
But victory only lasted 7 years before the anti-spiral attacked.
Unimaginably powerful
Antis-
godlike
oh,
aliens,
no.
the
Why did that
anti-spiral
look like the
feared
moon woke up
humanity's
again?
potential, what they dubbed the spiral nemesis.
Remember how Gurren Lagann runs on fighting spirit? Turns
Okay.
out that's just a manifestation of spiral power, an energy that
Spiral
all spiral
power.
beings, like humans, have. That's right, the laws of physics run on chutzpah.
Just as the spiral turned inward represents endless obsession and madness, the spiral turned outward spins forever into infinity, the perfect representation of humanity's evolutionary potential.
Potential
Okay.
Simon would use as he led Team Dai Gurren
Look at him now,
across
he
the
looks so
multiverse
grown
to
up.
take the fight to the anti-spiral. And this is when Gurren Lagann gets crazy.
Channeling spiral power lets you constantly adapt to threats, no matter how
Okay.
overwhelming.
That's good.
Simone can create
You
portals
you
to
can
different
adapt to
realities
threats.
and higher dimensions. He can
That'll
generate
be
force fields,
useful.
absorb energy attacks, and even merge
Force
Gurren
fields.
Lagann with bigger and stronger machines.
Creating the Arc Gurren Lagann, which is
Arc
strong enough to
Gurren
shatter
Lagann.
space and time with a punch.
Or the
Oh.
Super Galaxy Gurren Lagann, which can fire lasers that are fast enough to hit
Super
and I
Galaxy.
quote,
Look at that.
all time, space, and dimensions, all within a Planck instant.
That's the
Okay.
smallest unit of time physically possible.
Meaning each laser would have to be moving 4.6 times 10 to the 117th power times faster than light.
I don't like that.
Oh, well, looks like this wins
Who
the
did that
award for
math?
fastest calculated
That's
speed
crazy.
feat in our show's history. Congratulations, Gurren Lagann.
Move over, SpongeBob. You've been dethroned.
What? Never.
And the guidebook says they hit an
Y'all know I
innumerable number
love
of enemies
SpongeBob.
across infinite universes.
That's my
you
man.
literally cannot calculate how fast that is.
But it wasn't enough to escape the anti-spiral's greatest trap, the
What?
multiverse labyrinth. An attack
The
that imprisons
multiverse
Simon in his own
labyrinth.
unique multiverse, forced to experience an infinite number of alternate realities that
Oh,
controlled his
no.
mind,
Okay.
permanently arresting him in a dream world.
Except
Oh,
Simon and his
gosh.
spiral
That
power are
sounds
just
horrible.
built different. And after being inspired by his bro, Simon absorbed that whole multiverse to escape.
What makes this even more impressive is that this labyrinth was 11-dimensional,
Holy
meaning Simon
crap.
absorbed a higher dimensional structure several orders of infinity greater than himself. The jump between dimensions is basically infinite. Each new
Okay.
dimension adds a new direction of space that extends infinitely, thus an infinite gap in size and scope.
What?
Oh, we're
My
just
mind
getting
is
started.
blown.
Imagine a two-dimensional drawing interacting with a three-dimensional person.
Okay. That's not too far off from what actually happened.
Because when Simon absorbed the multiverse labyrinth, he merged with every alternate universe version of himself, including an alternate
whoa.
universe Simon, who is writing his own alternate universe version of Gurren Lagann. And that author's spiral power made his fictional Simon real, adding another
Oh.
to the mix.
Wait, if every human being has spiral power, you're telling me we can all do this shit?
This all
We
gave
can all
our
do
Simone
it.
enough spiral power to form the next step
Can you
in
imagine
mecha evolution.
if we could?
Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
This is when
Tengen
Gurren
Toppan?
Lagann gets actually fucking crazy. Like shooting missiles that alter
Holy
probabilities
crap,
so
look
they
at
have a
all those.
100% chance of hitting you, or tossing galaxies around like frisbees. Sorry, did I say
Tossing galaxies around
I
like
meant
frisbees.
Universes.
Simon's power was
Oh,
so
not
immense that he started
galaxies,
generating
universes.
super spiral space, a higher dimension encompassing our own universe.
With it, Simon turns his thoughts into reality, letting him create his mech and all of its weapons in the first place.
Not only does this mean he no longer needs co-pilots, he can also regenerate any damage done to him or his mech just by willing it back into
Okay, that's
existence.
gonna be
Like when
that's
Lord
gonna come
used
into
spiral
play.
power to
I am
survive
sure of it.
quantum breakdown, or the time Nia, now the best wife in the universe, used
They got
spiral power to
married?
constantly
She's his
regenerate
wife
her body
now.
from being erased at the informational level for 7 days straight.
Information in physics is essentially the ones and zeros that make up every possible outcome in reality. Nia
Okay.
literally regenerated from the statistical certainty
Look
of
at
her
her.
own destruction.
If I have spiral power, whiz, when the fuck is my leg growing back?
When even this was not enough for the anti-spiral, Simon evolved one more time.
You don't have spiral
Into
powers, sorry.
Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann!
Oh my gosh,
This mech
she's getting
is
even
so big,
longer.
its size is literally incalculable. And with a drill somehow
Super
even larger than
Tengen.
that,
I
Simon
don't
and his
even know.
friends shattered the anti-spiral once and for all.
Hey, cruel indifference of the universe! Meet the indomitable human spirit!
Proving
Holy.
Kamina's words
Came to
prophetic.
Simon
that
that
Simon's drill
believed
is
in
the
him.
drill that would pierce
He
the
became
heavens.
him.
With no more worlds
Pulled the
left
moon
to
back
conquer,
into orbit?
Simon chose
That's
to wander
insane.
the earth for the rest of his days, in service to others.
Always looking up. For all the lights in the sky are stars,
Oh.
and every star another world of spiral cousins that can live free.
All thanks to a humble digger.
That humble digger.
The universe is a dangerous place. Should you find yourself face to face with an interdimensional vampire, alien
Ooh.
dictators, or this one really pissed off cat, you know who to call.
The Green Lantern Corps. They're the Space Fuzz, an intergalactic police
Okay,
force
I have
founded
seen the Green
billions of
Lantern
years ago
movie.
by blue leprechaun
what is it?
gods.
And the greatest Green Lantern
That
among them was
movie was
everyone's
interesting.
favorite, Hal Jordan.
You know
Hal
him.
Jordan.
You love him. You
That's the one, the
might
Ryan
hate
Reynolds
him,
one.
But you gotta respect the man with a will as unbreakable as Hal's.
Until the day his will broke.
After
Oh.
his hometown got completely obliterated, Hal lost his mind. He rampaged through
He
the core,
lost his
killing
mind?
everyone in his path,
He
and
killed
absorbed
everyone?
the central power battery, the literal Green Lantern.
Becoming the
the
Emerald
actual
Tyrant,
Green Lantern?
Parallax.
There was only
Parallax.
one survivor of Parallax's killing spree, Ganthet. And with what remained of his strength, he gave the last Green Lantern ring in the universe to a human. Kyle Rayner.
Kyle
So, was
Rayner.
Kyle picked for his indomitable willpower like Hal was?
He was just there. He had no
He was
idea what was
just a
going
regular
on. Must feel
human, or
good being
what?
given the most dangerous magical weapon in existence to figure out on your own.
Holy.
Hey, if Colonel Sanders, Daffy Duck, Space Wheat, and a sentient box can master it, what's your excuse, Kyle?
The Green Lantern ring can do anything,
Anything he
fulfilling
said.
any wish its user desires as though it were a genie from a lamp.
It lets you fire energy blasts, create force fields, affect gravity, turn invisible and intangible, manipulate matter, time travel, warp reality, and erase things
Okay.
from existence.
Think we're
Erase things
exaggerating?
from
Well, consider the
existence.
time Kyle stretched the very
Time
fabric
travel,
of space to increase the
invisibility,
Planck length
mind
a billion,
reading,
billion
reality
times
warping.
over. That's like stretching
How do
an
you
inch
beat that?
into a light year.
Lanterns control time and space, letting them fly so fast they can create a Speed Force singularity.
Tapping into the Speed Force requires entering a higher dimension of space, requiring speeds that are not only faster than light, but totally immeasurable. And the rings have an artificial intelligence that operates just as
Artificial
fast, automatically
intelligence.
protecting its user from danger.
Like the time
Protecting
that Boozer
its user
Kilowog
from
survived
danger,
being
okay.
erased from existence by the crisis on Infinite Earth.
The ring is fueled by its user's willpower and limited
Again,
only by
willpower.
their imagination.
While
All right.
Hal may have had the greatest willpower in the Corps, Kyle's imagination is unmatched. Probably because
okay,
he's
good.
a comic book artist. And we know from this show,
Oh, he's a comic
they think
book
of some
artist.
wild shit.
But the Green
Big
Lantern's most
imagination,
recognizable
much
ability
needed.
is their constructs, Kyle's speciality.
Samurai armor, pirate ships, giant dragons, actual working home computers, and his favorite, super fighting robots.
Super
Hey,
fighting
that one looks
robots.
familiar.
Kyle can make them strong enough to lift the Spectre, who weighs as much as eternity.
Oh,
or
dang,
hold
that's
back a
heavy.
12.3 dimensional Big Bang. Wait, point
What?
3? DC's multiverse has 12.3 dimensions? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
The ring's
12.3
only downside
dimensions.
is that it's limited to 24 hours before needing a recharge.
So it can blow
Oh.
up universes, but it has the battery of an iPhone. Never
Okay,
mind. That's the
that-
stupidest thing I've ever heard. Although I'd say
That
Kyle's
could
biggest
be
weakness
bad.
was Kyle. With great power came no
That's a
responsibility.
weakness,
Perhaps
right?
a
That
manifestation
battery.
of Kyle's self-doubt. Any reflection came too late, though, when one of Kyle's villains brutally murdered his girlfriend, Alex, and put her body in a fridge.
Kyle wasn't the only one
why?
traumatized.
How evil.
This moment was so infamous, it started the trope called fridging.
For how female characters are often sacrificed as mere plot devices to further a male character's development.
So it might surprise you that it happened to Kyle again.
Kyle finally
Again?
got serious. He became a prominent member of the Justice League, faced off against Hal, and even rebuilt the Green Lantern Corps better than ever.
But little did he
How
know
do they
this
do that to him
torchbearer's
twice? That's
greatest
crazy.
journey had only just begun.
In order to save Ganthet from an emotional lobotomy, it's a long story, he had to master all the colors of
Not
the
a lobotomy.
emotional electromagnetic spectrum.
There are 7 colors, each representing a different emotion. The
Ooh,
yellow
okay.
light of fear lets Kyle manipulate
Yellow
the
is
worst
fear.
horrors in your mind. The more
Ooh, that's
scared you are of
scary.
him, the stronger he becomes.
Orange light is
Ooh,
fueled by
that's
bottomless
creepy.
avarice, possessing Kyle to absorb not
Avarice.
merely his enemies' attacks, but also their souls.
Red
Oh,
is
dang.
rage, ripping out Kyle's heart and replacing his blood with napalm. Which
Golly.
sounds like it sucks, but it's metal as hell.
Blue light is powered by hope and allows Kyle to
Hope.
heal wounds, resist mental domination, and supercharge his ring.
Indigo is
Supercharge the
compassion,
ring, okay.
reducing his opponent's will to fight and letting him open portals across space, connecting him to
Okay.
others.
The final
Compassion.
one was
Ooh,
the
look at
sapphire
her.
light of love. With it, he can trap
at
enemies
her.
within crystal matrices and control their minds.
is that?
But Kyle only mastered it by forgiving himself for Alex's tragic death.
Oh, self-love.
What the heck?
I get it. Must be nice. And with their powers combined, he doesn't just make his enemies taste the rainbow.
The lights
Oh.
of the spectrum merged, and Kyle became a White Lantern with total
A
control
White
over the
Lantern.
power
He's
of
not a
light.
Green Lantern
Wiz, I
anymore.
cannot think of an attack more useless in a death battle than something that makes you live.
Empowered by the physical embodiment of all life in the DC multiverse,
Oh, man,
Kyle
this is
is
gonna
vastly
be
more
a
powerful
hard
than any other
choice.
lantern in existence.
We're the
Far
greatest
stronger than
lantern.
Hal, who could harness the energy of every power battery across the multiverse.
Not only can Kyle instantly heal all wounds, purify corruption, and resurrect the dead, The white light of life is strong enough to go up against threats to all of creation, like the
Holy
anti-monitor.
crap. Okay.
Okay, so it's not totally useless.
Steven
Especially after
Universe.
Kyle visited the source and acquired the life equation. Essentially the source code to reality, the life equation is mathematical proof that life is worth living.
With it, Kyle can alter all of reality at a whim, even
Okay,
threatening the
reality
new gods like
warping.
Darkseid.
The life equation, like its counterpart, the anti-life equation, is a
Anti-life
conceptual artifact from a
equation.
higher reality, originating in a platonic realm that is, in a sense, more real than we are.
So it's not a
Holy
shock
crap.
that the
Okay,
equation made Kyle
I'm
too
leaning towards
powerful.
Kyle right now.
Struggled to control it, and it subconsciously manifested a being composed of his fears and anxieties. Oblivion. Kyle's
Ooh.
greatest weakness was still himself.
Kyle spent his whole life
no.
struggling with the power that the gods granted him, and throughout it all, he
That-
always rose to
that
the
can lead
occasion,
to some
carrying the
problems.
universe on his back.
But ultimately, the only way to stop power from corrupting is to spread it. So Kyle split the life equation into pieces to found his
Smart.
second core, the
I like
White
that.
Lanterns.
The
And
White
together,
Lantern.
they shattered Oblivion, destroying the self-doubt that plagued Kyle once and for all.
Not bad for a comic book geek from LA.
And now he was the one giving out rings of unlimited power to people who weren't sure if they could command it.
So he told them the truth. You can't teach someone how to use such power. You have to learn yourself, making mistakes along the way.
But with the power of life at their command, there's no end to their journey, only endless beginnings.
Dang.
Hey, remember Beerus versus Sailor Galaxia? No? Well, that's because it was taken off YouTube for being too anime. But we've got a solution live right now.
Okay.
All right, the combatants are set.
I'm
and
gonna
we've
go
run the
with
data through
Kyle.
all possibilities.
That's my
It's
guess.
time for a
Sorry,
death
Simone.
battle!
First I said Simon. Now I'm not choosing you. Let's see if we are right.
All right, I'm not rusty at all.
Hey dude, Green Lantern Officer Kyle Rayner here. Ring says you've got a Class A galactic super weapon, whatever that is.
Class
I'm
A
thinking it's the
galactic
giant
super
mech.
weapon.
Why don't you hand it over?
Gurren Lagann's mine, officer. Just who the hell do you think you are?
Lisa, give me your suit. Oh, here come the flying drills. I already forgot all the
I'm
names.
told I'm bad with authority.
Tell me about it. 4!
4?
Oh shoot, there's a golfer. Okay, I'm like, for what? Ooh, that's crazy. The drill just ran him through the ground.
That's nothing! My drill will pierce the heavens!
Look at all the colors right now.
Take it to Gurren Lagann!
Ooh, did you just turn white?
That's really cool.
He said, that's really cool.
I'm a digger.
We do the impossible.
See the invisible.
Touch the untouchable.
Break the unbreakable.
If you ain't
As
know,
long as your lantern doesn't run out of battery.
I'm Simone the Digger. If there's a wall in
Simone
my
the
way,
Digger.
I'll smash it down!
Oh shoot. Oh, did you just put him through the wall? Okay, he seems fine. Oh, look at these are all the other emotions.
Think about your fear of death, your love of your friends, your compassion
Oh,
for
he's
me,
getting in his
your hope
head.
for the future. Choose life.
have faith in the Simone that believes in you.
Have faith in the Simone that believes in you. He became that Simone.
Super taken to Gurren Lagann!
Oh,
My drill is the drill that will transcend the heavens! Giga Drill Free!
Giga Drill. Ooh. This is like the prettiest death battle we have seen. Look at all the colors. What happened?
The super weapon wasn't your mech.
It was me.
Then, Simone, I'm taking you in brightest day, in blackest night. No evil shall escape my sight.
Well, they look like they're
Let those who
toe to
worship
toe right
evil's
now.
light beware my power.
Oh,
Green Lantern
he matched it. Oh.
Let's see you grit those teeth!
Oh, Kyle's down.
You'd make a good lantern.
Oh, shoot.
Simone of Earth, you have been chosen.
Simone is gonna get
Just
the
who the hell do you
ring.
think I am?
Oh, Simone the Digger.
The guy with the snazzy sunglasses.
When both combatants possess unlimited power, it's hard
Dang
to judge them
it.
by our
I did
normal
not get it
standards.
right.
Take
I did
speed.
not have a
Simone
good
can hit
guess.
an infinite number of targets all at once, and Kyle can fly fast enough to surpass the normal concept of speed itself.
When you control space and time, things like strength and speed kind of become irrelevant.
Instead, let's analyze them through a lens more applicable to beings as absurd as Simone and Kyle. Their
Okay.
imagination, their
Yes.
willpower, and their ultimate potential.
First
Okay.
up, imagination. The boundless things they could conjure to use against
They
the other.
both had big
could think of
imaginations.
just
I
about
thought
anything
Kyle's
the other could,
was
like absorbing each other's attacks, fighting
larger.
across time, anything.
Simone did have a few attacks that Kyle hasn't encountered, like the probability-altering missiles. But
Yes.
it's likely Kyle could adapt considering his ring could protect against existence being erased across the multiverse.
And in general, Kyle's constructs were a lot more creative than Simone's arsenal, which was mostly drills. Though again, nothing Simone couldn't adapt to with, say, his energy absorption. Imagination is a
absorption
draw.
was-
That leaves the other
pretty
main
crazy.
factor for both characters.
Okay,
the
so that one
origin
was
of their
a
unbelievable
draw.
might, their willpower.
And
willpower.
that's really gonna be the winning factor here, since it's the source of everything for both of them.
For-
Whoever's
literally
got the
for
stronger
both.
willpower wins.
Both can manipulate
That's crazy.
reality on a multiversal scale
was a
with
good
their
matchup.
willpower, but we can use dimensions to roughly calculate a difference. This might sound absurd for most characters, but it's necessary for beings as beyond the pale as Simone and Kyle.
The multiverse labyrinth that Simone absorbed contained 11 spatial dimensions.
Yeah.
That's 1.3 dimensions
11
less than the
dimensions.
multiverse Kyle's power can
1.3
threaten.
less
And
than
remember,
Kyle.
each numbered dimension infinitely surpasses the one below it.
Yes.
Which meant Kyle's willpower was stronger at a base level.
Yes.
However, that doesn't necessarily mean Kyle gets the edge, because if there's one thing both of these guys are known for, it's that they can always get stronger.
So to determine the limits of their willpower, we first need to understand their full potential.
Simone's whole deal with spiral power is how he can constantly evolve to get stronger. So just
Okay.
because Simone starts off weaker doesn't mean he'll stay that way.
Absorbing
Okay.
the multiverse labyrinth
He got
requires
stronger.
Simone to leapfrog several orders of infinity in an instant. Simone made himself that much stronger through sheer force of will.
More than enough to close the gap with Kyle, especially since spiral power also lets him regenerate his body down to an informational level. Kyle's never destroyed something that thoroughly before.
Without the ability to easily
all
kill Simone,
right.
it was only a
I
matter of
get
time
it.
before Kyle's ring ran low on charge.
Yes.
Especially since Simone could likely regenerate for at least a week straight, like Nia did. While Blue Lantern
Yeah.
Light could boost Kyle's power, he's never jumped several orders of infinity in strength like Simone has.
And
True,
while Kyle
true,
could
true.
manipulate emotions to reduce Simone's willpower, Simone resisting the labyrinth's mental manipulation meant he could power through anything Kyle threw at him.
Everything, that is, except for the life equation. It originated from a higher level of reality and would have more than even the odds.
Too bad Kyle couldn't control it. It was just as much a
couldn't
detriment to him as an
control it.
asset, forcing him to
Control it,
relinquish
gosh.
it to keep from
Can't
destroying reality and himself.
Compare that to Simone, who merged with a version of himself writing a version of Gurren Lagann, and using spiral power to make that fiction into reality.
A pretty similar level of reality to the life equation, and a level of power Simone had no trouble embracing and
Okay,
mastering by the end of his
Simone, I
story.
see you.
No matter how you look at it, Simone might start weaker, but his peak will always transcend Kyle's. Isn't that how all of Simone's battles usually go anyway? That's Gurren Lagann in a
don't know.
nutshell.
So Simone's
Now I
incredible
get it.
potential
Now I know.
eclipsed Kyle. which means his willpower was ultimately greater. Kyle may have embodied life itself, but Simon's unstoppable evolutionary potential
I like
would
this
shatter
chart right
even this
here.
lantern's light.
I hope Kyle at least
All
dug the fight,
right.
because when it comes to death battle losers,
That was a good
he was
battle.
a dead ringer.
The winner is Simone the Digger.
Simone the Digger. Okay, Simone the Digger took the win. I did not guess correctly, but that is okay. I have learned so much, both about Kyle Rayner and Simone the Digger. I'm going to say it right now. I will not say Simon ever again. Make sure to go show Death Battle some love. And if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.